Hey everybody. Waiting for people to come in and hang out. I'm having some milk and cookies. If you're new to my live stream, my name is Michael Acacio, and I've been repairing computers for over 25 years for regular people, home businesses, and bigger businesses also. I specialize in maintenance, and I teach seniors how to fix their computers. I have worked for companies like Dell, HP, and I'm a certified technician. When you hear my computer repair tips, they're very easy to understand and very easy to implement yourself. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click the bell and share my videos with your friends and be part of my community, which I want to be part of yours. So, I teach everything from A to Z. Has to do with your laptop, your desktop, Wi-Fi, network issues, basic common problems that people have on the internet can be taken care of by the user itself. So, as I help many people, hundreds of people over the years, I'm bringing all that to YouTube, and I'm excited to help other people with your computers. My channel is fairly new, and I hope you consider subscribing. I post videos and I do live streams pretty regularly, and you can depend on me. I'm very reliable. If I say I'm going to do something, I generally do it unless there's an emergency coming up, came up or something like that. First of all, properly turn your computer on and shut it down. Sounds like a real easy thing, but some people don't do that. And then when they restart their computer to turn it on the next time, they get all kinds of weird screens on there. When you start your computer, whether it be a laptop or a desktop, push the button and let it start up. The first thing it does is it goes through something called post, which means power on self-test, and it starts showing all the hardware and good stuff on your computer. And after that's done, Windows tries to load up and start your computer. When you're finished with your computer for the day or for the night, if you don't put it on sleep mode and you want to turn it off, completely off, for the next day or later on that day, go back to the Windows icon, the lower left, click it open, and click shutdown. That's the basic, proper way to do it. You want to click shutdown. And there you have it. Your computer's shut off. If you have programs running in the background that you're not using, it's going to take a little time to close and shut off because it has to close those programs out first. But I'm going to show you how to take programs off the background of your computer and free up some of the memory that it's using, because you don't want to have programs running in the background while you're on your computer. That's why I recommend you do one thing at a time, because you will get the full functionality of using your computer if you do one thing at a time. And you'll be using the most Windows resources possible if you do one task at a time. So, who's there? Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome to my live stream. Can't see who you are, but it's showing a picture of somebody. Hey, Christy Myers, I think I know you. You're my buddy. Ron was over today, and he said he's going to talk to your family about what my car's doing, so that'll be nice. But if you want to repair your computer, that's what we talk about here. So you know how to shut it down, you know how to start it up. That's the important thing. Step one. Step two is, if you have things running in the background on your computer, you need to take them off. Now, if you're on a Windows 7 machine, you go down to right-click on the Windows icon in the bottom left, and you hit Run. You type in the Run box msconfig. That's msconfig. Then you hit OK. Then you'll be going to the configuration utility, and you'll see all, you click the startup tab on top of it, and then you'll see all these programs with check marks in them. Now, this is only for Windows 7 users. Click that check mark. Take all the check marks out of the boxes, and only leave your antivirus if you want, and then click Apply on the bottom and OK. Then you restart your computer. It'll prompt you to restart it. When the computer starts up again, you will not be running the programs in the background, and you will be freeing up your memory, and now your computer's going to run better. For Windows 10 users, it's a little bit different. If you're on Windows 10 and you want to remove running programs in the background, you right-click an empty part of your toolbar on the bottom, left-click Task Manager, and then go into Task Manager, and any programs that are running in there that you don't want to run, you take them off. And once you take them off, then you won't be running programs in the background. Just make sure you know what you're taking off. If it's a program that you have, that you normally use or you use once in a while, take it off. You're not erasing it from the computer. You're just making it so it's not going to start up when you start the computer. I hope that makes sense to you. You want to use all the available memory that's in your computer. That's really what it's about. And if you don't have a lot of memory, I would recommend you upgrading more memory. You can go to Crucial.com, or you can call Crucial.com and ask them, tell them the model of your computer, and find out how much memory you have, and they'll tell you what's available. And if you buy memory and put some more in, that'll make your computer run faster. So I recommend doing that too. Yeah, my man Ron was over here today. I'm going to give a big shout out to my friend Ron, who put spark plugs in my car. Tried to fix it. We had a nice lunch today, and Ron is like my best buddy. He's always there for me, and he knows I'm there for him. And Christy too. We've been friends for a while, and we're always close friends. So I welcome everybody to this live stream, and I'll be on here with you for about half an hour or so. And I do support my friends. You know, I always have their back. And I love all you guys, and I'm glad you're on my channel. and we have to support each other here on YouTube because it's a community, and we have to help each other grow. So that's what we do, and I'm glad you're all with me. So another thing that you could do to make your computer run better is clean your browser. Now Chrome has an area in there called History. If you're running a Chrome browser or even Edge browser, you can go up to the right hand corner of your browser, click the three dots, or click to go into your browser, and then when you see History, click on History and move your mouse to the left, and then you'll see a lot of boxes with check marks in them on the right hand side. And what you do is you hold down your Control A key at the same time, Control A, Control A, you highlight that, and you click delete on your keyboard, and that'll get rid of a lot of them. And if you don't, if you have a lot of them, you have to keep doing it. Soto, hi friend, just tweeted your... Okay, I appreciate that, Soto. I have Twitter too, and I've been tweeting out some of my live streams. I appreciate that. And, you know, we all want to grow. I want you to be part of my community, and we all have to support each other. And, you know, that's just the way it works on YouTube. You got to support, you want people to support you, you have to support them. It's a two-way street if it's going to work. So, I support you guys. Oh, thank you very much. You give good advice. I appreciate that. I try to give the best advice I know. And thank you very much. I wish you the best too. And if you know anybody that wants to come in the room, come in the live stream, they're welcome. You can invite people on your list. I heard you talking about viruses. Okay, yeah, I always talk about, usually in all my live streams I talk about viruses, and that's a big subject for computer users. Whether a virus is really just a word that describes a few things. You know, when people say, oh, I got a virus, or I think I have a virus, you know, you could have adware, you could have malware, spyware. There's a lot of different things. It covers, you know, several different things. But we call it virus, and there's different types of infections. So you need to have antivirus protection, you know, whether you're on a laptop or a desktop. If you access the internet, you want to have a free antivirus or a paid one. I always recommend the free one, and you can go to avast.com and download a free one, which works really good. And that site is called avast.com. You just download it for Windows 7 or Windows 10, whatever one you're on, and you'll have an antivirus. And then you click on it about once a week, and it'll keep your computer, it'll scan your computer for infections. That's the basic thing that you have to have. If you want to be more protected, then I tell people to go and get a spyware remover program. Okay, Soto, I will see you again. Good to see you. Yeah, spyware remover program is like a program like Malwarebytes, which is a free version. You type in Malwarebytes, you download that, and it shows on your desktop as a big M. And once it shows a big M, then you double click it, you install it, and then you have Malwarebytes, which is an excellent program for all different kinds of infections. Not generally just viruses, but there's a lot of kinds of things you can get on your computer that it will find, and it will give you an opportunity to remove them at the very end. And it tells you right on the screen what it finds and how many objects it finds, and then you have a chance to remove everything at the end. And you might have to restart your computer too once you remove everything, because you usually have to do that for it to take effect. And that's a good program to use. I highly recommend it. I put it on all my customers' computers. And so between those two programs, there's also another program that I recommend. It's called Ccleaner. and that's good too. And it also has a registry program built into Ccleaner, and you can download that free also, and that's called Ccleaner, the letter C, cleaner, all one word, and go download that. Okay, Soto, you're very welcome, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much for tweeting that out for me. Appreciate it. That was really good of you. Nice of you. I appreciate that. So get Ccleaner, and then when you get Ccleaner, you'll see on the right hand bottom right it says scan now, and you click that and just let it do its thing, and it will remove whatever junk it finds. And after that's done, it even shows you right there how much megabytes were freed up because of that scan you did. And then if you look to the left, there's more options. You can clean your registry, and Windows has a registry, and that's where all your settings are as far as important settings, but they're not visible for when you can see them. Hi, J. Kurt. When you're in the control panel, you're actually in the registry. But if you want to clean your registry, you have to have a registry cleaner to do that. So if you get Ccleaner, after you do the regular cleaning, you click left and you click where it says clean registry. It's going to ask you if you want to back up your registry. I usually say no, and then I just say clean registry, and then after it's done, I hit remove all problems there, remove all selected. And that's that. And you can do that once a week, once a month, however you feel you want to do that. These programs are very good to protect you on the internet. And all of them are free. Some of them have paid versions. If you want the paid version, the only difference really with a paid version is you'll get live people that you can call and ask them questions if you have any problems. But these programs are very simple to use. And I've taught seniors how to use them, and young kids and college kids, and they're pretty easy to use. There's really not much to them. It's usually just click OK, and then you remove what it shows. So those are very good programs to have. And I'm not the best typer. I don't know how to. I'm not a great typer, and I don't spell everywhere correctly. But there's a program out there called Grammarly. If you're not familiar with it, you can go to Grammarly.com, and there's a free program you can get, and it just connects to your Chrome browser. And anytime you spell a word wrong, it's going to show you the proper spelling on the bottom, and you just click that, and you can have that on your phone. I have it on my phone. I have it on my computer, and you just click that, and it puts the correct spelling in. So if you need a program that corrects your spelling, and if you want a free one, go to Grammarly. They have paid versions also with some more functions to them, but I use the free version, and it works good for me. So that's another thing. Now, if you want to get programs on your computer that you want to download from a safe site, a lot of times you download a program and you're not sure if you're going to get that program because there's so much spyware and spam on the internet, and there's so much junk out there, and you don't know what to trust, what sites to go to. You can go to a site called Ninite, which is spelled NINITE.com. And then you go onto that and you click where it says Get My Ninite, and it will show you about 20 programs there. And all you got to do, 20 different types of programs, and then there's like 5 in each list. So you could pick any programs you want. All you have to do is check the boxes of the programs you want, and then go to the bottom and click Get My Ninite, and one at a time, it's going to install every single program you checked. You see, without spyware and worrying about going to 20 different sites and doing it one at a time, you can do it all at once at Ninite.com, which is a very good site. And I use that whenever I have to put Windows back on the computer. Instead of loading one at a time, I go to Ninite and I check the things I want, and boom. Hey, Money Bros. Oh, I wanted to ask you about that program. Well, can I just put that in my shortcut and will it work? And thank you very much for sending it because I don't know much about that. That's why I was asking you. Will it work? I know a good site to check for malware. Oh, that's good. Yeah, if you know a good site, check, put it in the, type it in and, maybe it'll help somebody. But I was just wondering about that thing that you sent me. Was it, can I use it? That's my basic question. Because I want to put it in my videos. It looks pretty neat. That's what I used. Okay, good. So I can just drop that into shortcut. Is that correct? And it'll add on to it. I know I'll probably have to cut and put it in where I want it, but I want to be able to put it in shortcut. Yeah, you have a lot of great stuff on your videos. It's amazing. Some of the graphics and things you have on there. It's really cool. Well, I'm going to try that and see if it works. Okay, there's a malware checker. And if it's something that you use and you know about, it could help other people. Hello, Toolbox. Welcome to the chat. I'm doing okay here. How about yourself? I'm just giving computer tips. If you have any questions, let me know. Or if you have a tip of your own, please share it with the group. Because we all need help on our computer, that's for sure. And instead of paying a lot of money to the shop, some shops charge $100 an hour to work on your computer. I know. I always try to give people a discount because I know what it's like. Good, excellent. So to answer my question then, I just have to go to that file, right? And I can drag it into shortcut, right? And it should work. Yeah, I need people in here that are good with computers because not everybody, one person doesn't know everything about computers. I mean, it's a fact. Okay, thank you very much. I have a good friend that lives in Florida, and if I run into a problem that I don't know, I talk to him about it, and we try to work it out together. Or if he has a problem he's not sure about, more heads is better than just one. Not everybody knows everything. There's so much to know. And what I teach people is what I experience and what I've used and what I know works. I know what CPU and GPU is. Cool. Yep, CPU is your central processing unit. That's the brains of your computer, your chip, your processor, and GPU is your video graphics. And that's very good. Yeah, so I don't think I'm the know-it-all everything computer guy. Believe me, there's things that I don't know. And I appreciate people like Money and my friend and anybody else that comes in the live stream. Right, exactly. So you need, if you're going to do video editing and stuff like that on your computer, you need to have a good CPU and you need a good video card. At least 2 gigs or above in order to be able to run these programs, because these editing programs are 3D graphics and you need to really, step up your game and have the right, good video. Hello, Whisper. Yep, central processing unit, Money, that's CPU. That's your chip, your Intel chip or your AMD chip. And that is what sends the information out and comes back. It has what's called cache on it, which is memory built in. The chips today are very high-end chips, and the technology is very good. Yep, DSN, exactly. So, I always welcome people that know things about computers, and I ask them questions too. So I don't want people to think that I'm like to know it all, but I do know a lot of stuff about computers, and I have a lot of experience, and that experience is what I share. If it's something that I don't know or I never experienced, and there's some things pop up now and then I always ask for help. It's what resolves the host IP to a website. Right, okay, yeah, we're just talking about networking, and you have a router, and the router has different functions on it. And every computer has its own IP address, which is like the address in front of your house. An IP address is that computer's address. So just remember that you have an IP address, and it is different for every household. Like I have an IP address, the guy next door has his own IP address, they're all different. But that's what I use to access the internet. And that's what you use to access the internet. Your unique IP address. And if you want to know what your IP address is, all you got to do is go to the bottom, right click the run box, and you can type in ipconfig, IPCONFIG, and you'll see your IP address, your subnet mask, and information on your computer. It'll all be there. So, yeah, and each IP has a host name too. So that's networking. That's a little bit different than computer maintenance and computer upgrades. What he's talking about is networking, and that's part of connecting computers together and getting them to talk to each other. That's what networking is. And if you have a wireless router in your house and a laptop in the other room, that's a network. You have a wireless network, and the second one, yeah, exactly. The second one gets picked up from your router. Yeah, the basic is that number that he put on there. That's actually the basic number. And your computer should have that in order to access the internet. It will have that number. So, that's, I'm going to do some videos on networking also. Just strictly on networking. And I know I talk about routers and things, but I want to do a video. Hello, Mary Jane giveaway. Great to have you here. How you doing? Yeah, they're all pretty similar. They vary a little bit, but that is something. Hey, Tim, I got your message there. Thanks a lot. Good, Mary Jane. Good. Yeah, if you just came in, we're talking about computers, and what I do is I teach people how to maintain your computer, and I teach people how to repair their computer, and I teach it in a basic, easy to follow method. I don't give you any fancy words. I don't confuse you. I don't tell you something you're not going to understand. It's basically cut and dry. Personally, there's easier ways to describe what those numbers are. And, when I do a video on networking, I'm going to explain everything and what everything is. But that's not going to be in this video, but I'll make a video on that, or I'll do a complete live stream on networking. And the most popular network today is wireless. Everybody's using wireless. So it's the easiest network to set up too. But getting back to your computer, what I like to tell people is if you miss some of this live stream, you can watch the replay, and did give a couple of good computer tips. How you can maintain your computer. Yeah, that's the default. Exactly. What do you mean? Well, Steve, what I recommend is using a program called Malwarebytes. It's free and you can download it right from the internet. You can go to download.com and you can download or do a search for malwarebytes.com. It's a free version. Download it, install it, and run it. And it will search your computer for all kinds of variants. And then it will tell you how many you got. At the end of the scan, you just click remove all. So that's the program that I recommend because I put it on hundreds of computers. I've used it on countless computers to clean them. And that's one program that I really love because it's always been good. Oh, you're welcome, Steve. I also cracked up the limit. Okay, well, I mean, I don't really get into talking about crack programs. That's why I recommend the free ones. You can use it forever. You don't need a license to use Malwarebytes. I've had the same version for years. It's okay, Steve. You don't have to be tech savvy. Any questions you have, I try to answer them, and like you're a 13-year-old. That's what one customer told me one time years ago. He said, tell me, he brought me a computer, and he said, tell me what's wrong with it, but talk to me like I'm 13. So that rung something in my head, and ever since that, I've always tried to explain things to people in just regular layman's terms because you can get confused. People using words that you don't know. You can get very confused. Subnet mask, what's that? You know what I mean? What's all these different words. And when I first got into networking and learned the basics, I was overwhelmed by some of these words. But there's an easier way to go about showing people how to do things. Oh yeah, a lot of people do that. They think you have a magic ball, but they call and they want you to tell them what's going on with it, and you're on the other end of the phone. And some things can be hardware and some things can be software issues. So you really got to see a computer and look at it in order to properly tell somebody like what's wrong with your computer. You could have a lot of different things going on with it, but you really need someone to look at it. That's like if you call the doctor and you're waiting for a magic word for him to say and you're going to feel better. They have to see you. Your car's not working right, you have to go to the car mechanic most of the time, or if you know how to fix cars yourself. They're not going to be able to tell you over the phone, they might can give you a few basics, but in order to do things properly, the computer has to be in front of you. Just like the car, just like the doctor. So, and I've always prided myself on keeping things simple. I try to, 90% of the time. You have to remember that 90% of all computer problems are software. Parts do break down. Parts will go bad. I've seen even new power supplies out of the box that weren't any good. And that happens sometimes. Your power supply can go bad on your computer. They're only really supposed to last a few years. Someone refused, yes. I don't know, couldn't read the whole thing, but if you, there's a lot of these tech support companies out there. I don't know about all of them, but I can tell you a lot of them, they're just trying to scam money from you. I've had people calling them and giving people money for stuff that they never did, and sometimes they even made the problems worse. So don't believe what you hear, what messages pop up telling you to click this and it's going to make your computer brand new. It's not, and I can guarantee you that it's going to probably harm your computer. don't fall for any of those tricks, because there's plenty of them out there. And you call these tech support people, and they're somewhere in the other side of the world, in these foreign countries, and most of the time, it's just a gimmick, you know. But I can tell you that computer companies are really not in the business of repairing a computer. That might sound a little funny, but the companies that sell computers, their job is to sell them. Usually other people, usually they subcontract the repairs to other companies. Yeah, the click here and all that for free, and that's a big one. Click here to scan your PC, and a lot of people fall for that. Just like the woman that goes to the car mechanic, you know, they see them coming, and then they got dollar signs in their eyes, you know. So I'm funny about stuff like that. I've tried a lot of things, and I can tell you what I found that works, and that's all I can do is tell you that by experience, what I know works, you know. And that's how I do things. Because the programs I still use have been used, some of them for years, and they still work well. You know, it's really the basics that really matter, you know. Sometimes you have to reinstall the whole operating system. I mean, if you have a real lot of issues and it just can't be fixed, that's why I tell people, make sure you back up your information. Backing up is real important. I'm only 19, so... Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I know people that are great with cars. My younger brother, I mean, he knows everything about cars. He doesn't like to work on them because he doesn't like to get all greasy and stuff, but he used to teach the class in high school when he went to high school, how to auto mechanics when the teacher was sick or something. I mean, that's how good he was. And he knows a lot about computers, too. But some people just don't like to work on them. They might not have the patience for it. I've worked on so many of them, and I pretty much know my way around a computer. You know, after a while, you feel comfortable around it. Sometimes I have people looking over my shoulder, and I don't feel uncomfortable. I think it might be a little bit unpleasant, but some people are just really, over anxious, and I wish they'd just sit down and relax. Get Chrome extension direct from the Chrome store. Well, if you get Google Chrome, I mean, there's an option there to get it. Oh, okay, Whisper. If you got any questions or any comments or any tips of your own, feel free to share them. So, where was I now? Yeah, and like I said, to clean your computer, there's several things that you can go through. And you want to do a few different tasks that will clean your computer out of internet junk and all kinds of spyware and all kinds of stuff that gets on there. And a lot of people don't know, just by searching the internet, you're getting a lot of temporary files on there. You're getting history, you're getting temporary files, you're getting, if you're on Windows 10, there's a few different areas where files are accumulating to make the programs run easier or the websites work better. And those files in time will slow your computer down or give you problems. So you have to clean those files out. I'm more geared to taking stuff out of the computer than putting stuff in, because some of these programs will scan your computer and remove the stuff, and that's good. But there's other things that you have to do that you have to go in there manually and take out. You see, not all programs are going to do all things. You have to manually do things. Like if you're on Windows 10 and you never did any maintenance before, okay, you know who you are, you probably don't know how to do maintenance. It's like a car. Okay, how do I tune up my car? Well, I don't know. So I go to the shop. Thanks, Tim. It's great to give support. Windows 8, okay. Yeah, Windows 8. There's a lot of options that you can use. You can get, Steve. You can get Malwarebytes free version. It'll run on Windows 8. You can get a vast antivirus. That'll help you with your computer. That's free. And even Ccleaner will run on Windows 8. So those are programs that you can use for Windows 8. And I'm on Windows 7, and I'm also on Windows 10. And most of the time I use Windows 7 because I just prefer it. It's easier to use. I just do simple things on it. I don't, have to do too many big things or anything. So I like to use Windows 7. But Windows 8 is okay. So these programs will work with it. You can clean your computer out. Most people are on Windows 10. So I try to gear a lot of my teaching to Windows 10 because I know most people are on Windows 10. Whether they downloaded it or they added. Are you a Windows insider too? It's getting really late in this. Well, Microsoft is coming out with a new operating system. It's another version of Windows 10, and it's actually out now. I'm not really an insider, I'll be honest with you, because I just use what works. I'm not into the latest, greatest thing, but yeah, it's, you can get the new version of Windows 10. They say there's a few problems, but it's still, usually when a new version of Windows comes out, that's when they have all the bugs in it, and the second coming of it is when they take all the stuff out. So I don't recommend people getting the newest version of Windows when it first comes out. I always tell them to wait a little while because they're going to come out with a better version after the beta testers test all the components of the Windows version, because these beta testers used it. Yeah, Linux is an option because I know people that use Linux and like it. There's not a lot of people on Linux, and it's not as popular, but it's gaining a little popularity. But I am. It's more tech savvy. Yeah, Linux is something that you gotta really put together yourself, kind of. I don't have any interest in it. It's just like a Mac. I don't like Apple products, but some people do. Hey, Sonic Place, how's it going? But, everybody has their preference. If you just want to get online and have everything working, then great. I have a friend that knows Linux backwards and forwards, and he loves it, but he does use Windows also. Yeah, Ubuntu Linux. He has a couple Raspberry Pis. Those are little computers, and he puts Linux on there. And if you want your computer to run real fast, they don't run real fast on Linux. But Linux is something that you have to learn. So most people get Windows or Apple. I had Red Hat Linux one time. Somebody gave me a disk, and I looked at it, but I wasn't really too interested in it. My friend tried to get me into Linux, and I was like, yeah, maybe I just been in PCs too long. Windows, I don't really, I'm stuck on that, I guess. So I really have no desire to learn like Linux, because I just really do what I do, and it works for me, And these tips that I give will definitely work for you too, because it doesn't have to always be a struggle. If you got these different tips and you implement them into your computer on a monthly basis, or if you think you got problems, then you can do it. Oh, okay. I will talk to you later then. Thanks for coming by. There's a way to view network info in Windows. Yeah, you can view it. Okay, take care. Hey, money. Yeah. You could do IP config, money, and you could see all, everything that's on your computer, IP config, and, you could see everything that you need. Yeah, you could do command, you know, CMD, or IP config, and it shows you a lot of stuff. You could ping your router, PING, and then they send you some files back. What do you think about new MSLI computers coming out? Well, MSI is actually a really top, graphics company. So I don't know much about the computers. Yeah, you can ping your IP. Oh, thanks, Sonic. Yeah, so I don't really know about the computers, but I can tell you that ASUS was ASUS was and still is a top motherboard company, and they're coming out with computers too, and their computers are very good. They're top of the line. MSI computers, I haven't even seen one yet, and I don't know. Most of the computers I work on are older. People usually go to the manufacturer for problems with the newer ones, if they have a warranty. So I don't really see them, but that's good to know. MSI, they're a big, video company. They make the hardware for the video cards. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. But yeah, so like I said, if anybody has any questions or any comments, or tell your friends about this live stream, and we'll all gain popularity, and we want our channels to grow. And I'm going to put some of you guys' videos on my Facebook, because I got like 300 supporters on Facebook, friends and everything. And I'm going to put some of you guys' videos on there, and so they can check them out. I have put several people's videos on my Facebook, which is pretty cool. So Sonic, I appreciate that. And Money is a good guy. Money helped me out with a program. And, I'm trying to get, what I don't know much about is editing. I'm really new to editing, and I'm going to try to start editing my videos. I want to put in intros and outros in my video, so it looks kind of cool. And I have short videos that I took on my phone, and I want to learn how to put them into my videos too, if possible. I also know how to program. Oh, that's good too. So if it's possible to put my phone videos in on my channel, let me know, because I've never done that before. I have a, Android phone, just some certain videos that I made, really small clips that I want to put them in. Oh, thanks a lot, Sonic. Yeah, I've been working really hard trying to get my sub count up, and a lot of great people I've been meeting, and I usually take a couple days, and I check everybody's site out and check everybody's videos and stuff. I'm pretty new, and I got almost 400 subs, and it's really exciting. I don't know if you're allowed to say that here with the new rules, but maybe you have to say, like, share the love, or I got you, or I hit your bell, or I cut your grass. And people say that and usually say that in the streams. Because I go into a couple other streams in the morning, and people are like, no, don't say that. You got to say I sent you love, or you got to say I hugged you, or put an emoji in there. I don't even know how to put emoji in. It's entire computer classes during high school, but I was a welder and drafter. Oh, I see. Well, I went to computer school, I graduated high school, and I started my own computer repair business because I wanted to get into computers, because the first thing the way it happened was I bought a computer and I didn't know how to use it. after spending hours with tech support and all that, and reinstalling the operating system, back then it was Windows 98, second edition. I mean, I was getting tired of being tired, you know? So I started with the AOL chat rooms, and I learned a lot from the computer chat rooms in AOL. Then eventually I started teaching people what I learned and started helping them. Oh, okay. You were a drafter. I was a welder and drafter, and now I'm a welder and drafter, major at college. Oh, that's great, yeah. So basically that's how I got into computer repair. Is when you buy a new computer, it doesn't come with a rule book, and you have to figure a lot of stuff out. So I learned from a lot of good people, and then I went to computer school, and I learned there, and, that's how it started. If anybody wants to be a computer tech, that's something that you may want to get into. I do have a couple videos that may give you some good ideas about being a computer tech. I have 3 or 4 videos on that, actually. I mean, I teach anything from copy and paste to making a folder, fix Windows. I'm going to do a video on how to install Windows, reinstall Windows, and I have a lot of videos coming up, ideas that I'm going to make videos for. So it's going to get better and better as things go. Ooh. Got these cookies here. I was going to make a video today, but then I decided to just do a live stream. But I was going to make a video. Still may make one. If I do, I may put it up tomorrow, because I'm going to try to edit it. I got a few programs I've been looking at, and Panzoid is the program I have for editing, and it's been a hard road trying to figure it out, but I still really haven't gave it 100% effort. Oh, thanks a lot there, Sonic. 99999 stars. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. I give you guys all the stars too. You guys, if it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't be a star. So you guys are the ones that help me out, and I want to help you out too. We all got to help each other out. So that's what it's all about. I mean, if you're serious about growing your YouTube, I see a lot of people on here that kind of just like to come on YouTube and play around or whatever. But if you want to seriously grow your channel, I'm starting from, 3, almost 400. Oh, good. Appreciate that, Steve. I will get back, hit you back once I finish the live stream, get off my phone. Yeah, that's great, It's nice to have a place, where you can go, and if you have any questions or people can help you out, if you have any issues. You'd be surprised. I work for some $1 million companies that don't do backups on their computer, and they'll call me in to recover their information. And a big company making $1 million a year, you would think they'd have all that in place, but a lot of companies don't. A lot of companies just have a couple of USBs and their important information on that. I mean, if you're a big company, you need to have, there's some online backup every week to external hard drive, Make sure you have your important information off your computer that you can't lose. I've been able to successfully go in and get their data and save it, and it's all good. But a company, that's their bread and butter. They rely on their information, and some companies can't even pay their employees if their computer crashes. So, back it up. Make backups. If you got anything on your computer that's that important that you don't want to lose, make sure you do backups. There's companies online that'll even do them, like Carbonite, which is pretty reasonable. I think they're like $50 a year, and they'll back everything up to the cloud for you, and that's a good option if you have a lot of important information. Years ago, we used to use the FTP servers, and we used to put all our files on there and transfer them to each other. I remember I had like over 5,000 files once on my FTP server, and one day it just crashed, and I was so upset because I had so many important things on there. But I did have a lot of them saved, so it was okay. There's pictures and things like that. But I have gone to people's houses and they had a baby that passed away, and the only pictures they've had were on the computer, and the computer wasn't working. So thank God I was able to remove the hard drive, put it in my cloning device, and save the information. But my point is, what if I couldn't do that, then they would be out of luck. So back up your files. Yeah, I had about 5,000. I had a lot of programs on there. And we used to, FTP servers were good back in the day because you could send big files to each other. That's when all these different programs used to be out. We used to, get movies and videos, and you were allowed to do it until they changed the rules. They had all kinds of different platforms to get free videos and free music. Music was the big thing. Get the music, put it on a disc, listen to it in your car. So, if I had to give people the two most important things to do with your computer, and one of them is antivirus, keep it safe with these programs. The second one would be to back up your information. Don't rely on, my computer's going to work tomorrow. It worked today. You'd be surprised. I've seen crazier things happen. So do backups. Definitely do backups. And do maintenance too. If you need any maintenance tips, you can always ask me. I have a lot of different tips on maintenance. And check out some of my videos. Check out my playlist on computer repair. I have a playlist with 30 videos in there. And that has a lot of good tips. Oh, thanks a lot. My wife cuts my hair. She's not a barber or nothing, but she does a pretty good job. And I don't have to pay, so that's a good thing. When you get old, you kind of have less hair, and you got to do what you can with it. So, I appreciate it. And I'm glad you guys are my friends. I'm glad you're here. I want to get this live streams going. I have a lot of people come in and get a lot of help and knowledge and everything else so they can maintain their computers good. And they can repair their own stuff if something goes wrong. They'll be like, wow, I'm glad I found, this type of site. I know I might not get, a giant channel because, the gaming channels and the cooking channels and the craft channels seem to grow a lot faster than a how-to channel, but hey, it's what I love to do. What was the most challenging thing? Oh, I didn't see that whole thing. Something about the most challenging thing. Well, I've ran into issues, in my earlier days when I didn't know as much. What was the most challenging? You must perform. Um, well, I don't know. Everything I do, is because I learned how to do it. And I think once you learn how to do something, you feel more comfortable doing it. But most people don't, attempt to, recover their data. Most people don't attempt to install Windows because they're not sure how to do it. When I first started, I didn't know too much, but I learned how to do it. And, things like that at first were kind of challenging. And working on expensive equipment can be challenging too because, you don't want to make anything worse than it is already. That person paid a lot of money. Some people have very expensive computers. And I've been able to fix a lot of gaming computers. A lot of these young people come to me for some reason. Maybe they're all friends or something. When their gaming computer goes down, they call me and they give me all these great recommendations. I don't know. I would say maybe installing Windows, that was probably the biggest challenge I had because I didn't know how to do it. And the first few times I did it, I didn't back up the people's data, so people were probably, kind of upset that I didn't save their information. And I've told people that before that they're probably going to lose their information. And then after it was actually erased, then they got upset at me for not telling them, but I already tell them. I always tell people that. But now I say I could save it most of the time, but a couple times I wasn't able to save it, and I've had people get mad at me about that when I already told them from the beginning. You sure you want me to go through with it because you're going to lose it? Oh, no, it's okay. I don't need nothing on there. I was like, okay, so now I'm going to reformat, and I'm going to erase your hard drive, and I'm going to put Windows on there. Oh, yeah, go ahead. And then you do everything, and then I've had one guy was like, oh, my God, I have my tax returns on there. I said, hey, I already asked you. Oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, arguing. I didn't want to argue with the guy, but I'm telling him, hey, that's why I asked you. So, that happened before, so that was kind of challenging in a way. I've worked for specialists, doctors and lawyers and business people, and worked for all kinds of, just home users, gamers, and everything is pretty much basic. When you learn the basics, you can really do, have the confidence to do a lot of things. It's like anything else. If you play basketball every day, you're going to be pretty good at it after a while, or you'll be better than somebody that never plays basketball. Just for an example. So anything that you do a lot of, you're going to be able to, be good at it. You may not be great at it, but you'll be good enough to know the basics, what's needed. So that's what I stress. So I never consider myself like a geek or a nerd. I always looked at computer repair as what I learned is just something that I know how to do, and I can do it. That's always how I looked at it. I never looked at it like, I'm a nerd, I know all these technical terms or whatever. I just find out how to do something, and I see that it works. Okay, now I know how to do it, That's the way I look at it. So, it could be with anything else, anything in life that you do. If you practice enough, you'll get good at it. If you want to learn how to play guitar or something, you keep on at it. You might be sucky from the beginning, but eventually, you'll kind of pick it up. And I don't know how to play guitar, but my brother knows how. And I look at it like, I don't think so. Not my thing, But, hey, everybody's good at something, And that's the way I look at it. Everybody has some sort of talent. Boot camp for 2 months and 25 days, but God. Oh, we went to boot camp, okay. Yes, he's the best. Oh, man, sorry, you're the guy. I don't know about that, but hey, appreciate it anyhow. I just want my videos to be good. I want people to learn stuff. I want to help people with problems. If they can't fix them themselves, I do remote access over the internet for a reasonable price. I can fix your computer over the internet if you have software issues, if you don't know how to fix it. I do have that service. So, but I like to teach people how to do things themselves because then they'll know and they'll be confident. Streamers and how to do people that were useful. Yeah, Stephen, I kind of agree as far as the useful stuff because I mean, there's some channels that the people are gamers and then they're talking about other stuff and I'm thinking, well, what does that have to do with being a gamer? When I started on YouTube, I was told by some of the big YouTube guys that if you know what you're here for, what your niche is, then you're going to do better. You'll be more successful. And my niche I always knew, to help people with their computers, help people to fix them. But some channels have like 6 or 7 different things they do, and I mean, that's all good and everything, but you have to be interested in that stuff in order to want to watch your channel, you know? So sometimes I might be interested in somebody's channel and they're traveling or they're going to Disney in Florida. A few people I follow that because I live in Florida and I like that. But then they'll do sewing and they'll do gardening and this stuff, which is interesting, but it's really not my thing, you know? I don't get into gardening, but I might like the people. And the people are cool, but, you know, we all have things that we're interested in. So, you know, if you like computers, you like to learn about your computer, you want to learn how to fix it, you want to learn how to fix common problems, you know, I said I do the same. My subject is computers, you know, I don't, you know, have any sidelines like some of the people do, but hey, I guess to each his own. But I was told that you're better off just knowing your niche and people know why they come to your channel, and that's an important thing. If you don't know why you're going to a channel, then most of the time you probably won't go there. If somebody has 5 different things going on that they do, and you like one of them, but today they're doing something that you don't like, you know, you might not frequent their channel, you know. But now that I'm learning about editing and getting into that, I like all that fancy stuff. So I've been checking out people's channels that have that cool intros and outros, you know, and stuff like that. No, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I appreciate it. But that's kind of cool, you know. I got a cold I'm trying to fight off. All day I've been sick and I'm trying to fix my car. That's another thing, you know. That's another story. But yeah, I make these videos and stream, you know, it's on YouTube, but I also share them on. I made a video of an intro I made. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to make a video of an intro and I want to put it in. You do these. How often? Oh, I think you're talking to Monster. Oh, live streams, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night, maybe every couple days. I do them. It depends. I usually do them in the morning. Sometimes I do them at night, but usually in the morning. I may do them. It might not be every day, but it'll be, you know, every few days and stuff. Or you could just, click the bell and you'll see whenever I come up with something. Because I get people sending, after I do a live stream, I get people sending sending me messages saying, "Oh no, I missed your live stream," And I wish I had a set time, but my schedule is really flexible. It changes a lot, so it's really hard to say, okay, I'm going to do it every night at this time. Today was a good day for me, so I did a live stream this morning, and then I'm doing one tonight, and I may do one tomorrow morning. I may do one tomorrow night. So I would say like every couple days, I do one. But I don't have like a set time. Maybe once I get my schedule straightened out better, I'll have a set time when I do them, because I know that's better for people. But then the time zones are different too. So right now it's 6:41 p.m. and people in the UK, it's another time. And if you live in California, the time is different too. So we have that issue going on with the time zones. So morning might be night for you. I have friends in California, and when I'm on in the morning, it's like a different time for them. So it's hard to get everybody together all the time. That's why I try to do it, as often as I can, whether it be in the morning or the night. And I think the nights sometimes are better. Okay, yeah, Steven. Yeah, it's night for you. Yeah, because you're a couple states away from me in Georgia. I'm down here by Mickey Mouse, in Florida. So, yeah. But I try to do the live stream in the morning or at night. And Stephen, I hope that answers your question. It's a little vague, but maybe eventually I'll have a schedule where I can, post it on my information. Knoxville, yeah, Knoxville, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. I had a friend lived in Nashville, older guy. Yeah, that's Tennessee, all right. Yeah. I grew up in New York, and I moved to Pennsylvania, and now I'm in Florida. So I've been lived in three different states. Actually, I lived in four. I lived in Connecticut years ago for a little while. But basically, I grew up in New York, and people say I have a New York accent. I guess that stays with you all the time. And then I moved to Pennsylvania, and from there I ended up here. So I like it here. I miss the food in Pennsylvania. I don't miss New York that much. But I do have a sister in New York I'd like to see. Maybe sometime I can get out there, get up to New York again. But it won't be during the winter, that's for sure. Yeah, I just don't do snow anymore. I really can't. I hurt my leg some years back, and I'm not very good in the snow, so I just stay in the warm weather. And it's been kind of cold around here. Raining. It rained a little while ago. But this is where I'm going to be, I believe. I don't think I'm going to be moving from here. If you went and got, yeah, same in here. Yeah, there you go. This is a nice area. I like it here. It's not that cheap as it used to be, but it's still a pretty nice area. A lot going on. There's a few YouTubers that live within a couple hours from me that I chat with. One guy, he lives like pretty close, I heard. Grow your business. That's what it's all about. So you guys want to grow your business, you got to get people, you got to get involved, be active. That's the name of the game, they say. Be consistent. That's what I was taught. If you want to be successful on YouTube, keep coming out with videos, do live streams, get to know people, be successful at it, and learn from there. Watch other people's videos, comment, like, share. But everything that I do here, I put on Facebook, I put on Twitter, and I put some of the groups on Facebook that I belong to. I have my own YouTube group on Facebook. It's not very big, it only has a few people in it, but I always post in there. So another thing with your computer is that if you're not using it, I always tell people to shut it off. If you put it in sleep mode, yeah, you will save power. But my point is, why not just turn it off? Unless you're going to go right back to it, I would say do the full shutdown, because there's no reason for your hard drive to be running. It still gets hot. Your memory's going to get hot. Your CPU's still running, but you're not using the computer. And I see that all the time. And you're not using it, I just recommend people shutting it off. Turn it off, let it cool down. I've even had customers tell me they're on the computer 18 hours a day. Well, if you're on 18 hours a day, your computer is going to get hot, it's going to overheat at times. So I don't think it's a good thing to be on 18 hours a day. It's a machine, it's fallible. It's not a perfect thing, perfect science, Yeah, exactly. Some people will play games on for 18 hours straight, and then go to sleep, get up and play games for another 18 hours. And I'm like, geez, well, don't you want to go out and look at the trees or anything? Go to the movies or do some chores around your house? I mean, I've been on a computer for a long time, but that's just going overboard, I think. Because your computer is going to get hot, your RAM is going to get hot, your motherboard is going to get hot. Give it a rest, You need, your computer is going to be heating up all the time, and you're putting it through a lot of strain. It's not bad and hard enough to run games, and you're doing really high-end stuff, and then you're going to do it for a real long time. I don't recommend it. I tell people that you should have some time to shut it down, let it cool off, go on later on again. Your computer, is like your car. After a while it's going to get hot. You're in a traffic jam, it's going to heat up. Well, computer is the same way, The most longest I ever stayed awake is 3 days, and that's because we were forced to. Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I have some friends in the military. Yeah, they stay up for a couple days, but I understand that. At least that was for a reason, but just every day, I think if you got to be on the computer playing games every day, you may want to consider another hobby. Get into something else, break that time up. Ride your bike, drive your car somewhere. There's so many other things to do. You have to find some balance. And sometimes it's hard for me, but I don't stay on the computer that long. But yeah, it can be hard at times. People need to stay away from the computer, and they come back, then they have to catch up on a lot of things. But that time away could be time that you could be investing in doing something else, or gaming is gaming is. But if you can moderate it, yeah, anything in moderation, Drinking, if you can have just a couple of drinks and be sociable, that's great, Anything in moderation is good. Don't overdo it. Your computer is just like a machine. Your hard drive gets hot. You can't even touch your hard drive after 18 hours. After a couple hours, your hard drive is going to be burning hot. You know, even with fans running and everything else, you know, computers get hot. It's just, that's just the mechanics of it. So what I tell people is, you know, take a break, do something else, do what you have to do and turn it off. You know, and it's just like a technician, you know, when you can't figure out a problem, walk away from it and come back in a little while. And you'll come back with fresh eyes. So if you're struggling with fixing something on your computer, and it's just driving you crazy, you know, walk away. You know, walk away, do something else, and then come back, and you'll be a lot better. Yeah, it's like anything, you know. Let me look some other notes on them. Also, make sure you're a selective sharer. What that means is, be careful who you're sharing your files with, you know, or your personal information. You don't want to put that all out there for everybody to see, or especially your banking or financial information. The website should have a lock in the top left corner, and it should say secure site. If it says insecure site, don't put any financial information in it, because you don't want hackers to get it. That's something that everybody needs to do, is be careful who you share your information with. And that's just basic safe computing. And also, check your passwords and change them now and then. Make the passwords stronger. You know, if you have password that's just password 123, that's very easy to break in. A hacker can get through that pretty fast, because he knows a lot of people do that. Make your passwords upper and lower case letters. Use some symbols. Make sure you write them down, and change them after a while. Make sure you write them down. Make harder passwords to get into. Make your password very hard for anybody to break. You don't want really simple ones. You know. And also, make sure your privacy settings are on. Windows has privacy settings, and you want to have them on. You don't want people to easily get into your computer and hack into you. And that's what you need to do. And also, keep your software up to date. That means drivers. If there's any drivers, you go to Device Manager in the control panel. Okay, yeah, 183. See, there you go. Now you'll restart, get rid of them, and you'll be on your way, you know. So that's good. I'm glad that found a lot of stuff. Also, you know, you can do clean your browser. I already told you about that. But yeah, you want to run that. If you got Ccleaner, run Ccleaner. Clean out your registry. But yeah, all your programs, if there's an update for it, I don't mean a paid version, but an update for that program, make sure you install it. Because you want to keep your programs up to date. You want to keep your device drivers up to date. There might be a newer driver. Ccleaner. Ccleaner, it's one word. C as in cat, cleaner. Download that, run the cleaner, and you can also do the registry. It cleans a lot of temporary stuff, and it will clean out your registry also. It cleans out like cache files and things like that, junk files they get on there. Every time I run Malwarebytes, I run Ccleaner. Because whatever Malwarebytes may not have gotten, Ccleaner usually finds a lot of them. And also protect your mobile devices. If you're traveling, or if you're used to going to Starbucks in the morning, don't use these open Wi-Fi places. You know, that's a good way for people to get into your computer and get your information. I know it's real convenient for you to go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or Minute Mark and get coffee and check your email and do some things online, but I have to tell you that it's not safe. There's hackers in these places or nearby that are trying to get your information. and they're trying to get your financial information. People are more sophisticated than they used to be, and they know people are on the internet and these coffee shops and things, and there's ways for people to break in your computer. If you have very weak passwords and you're in a coffee shop, which is open access, I mean, it's not very hard for somebody to get into your computer and see what you're doing, if they have some knowledge of how to do that. So don't use coffee shops. Get a VPN network, and that's what you need to do. Or you go to like AT&T and you have the device that goes in the back side of your laptop. Use a secured site. Don't be going to these coffee shops and using their Wi-Fi or wherever you can get free Wi-Fi. And I don't even recommend that for cell phones. Going to financial things on your phone. You gotta stop doing that with your laptop for sure, because people can hack into you. It happens every day. I can tell you, there's over 5,000 known viruses every day. If you go to McAfee, they do a report, and there's actively at least 5,000 viruses all the time. So there's a lot of threats, and not only threats from viruses, there's people using keyloggers and getting into people's computers and monitoring their keystroke, and you want to be safe from that. You want to get a keylogger decypher and run that. Norton's got a program called Eraser, and you can get that program, and that'll protect you from keyloggers if there's a keylogger on your computer. It can be a software or a hardware keylogger, so you want to be safe from that. Also, we didn't talk about it, but yeah, we already talked about what you're doing. Also use a firewall too. If you have access to a firewall, whether it be on your router or a software firewall, you might want to consider using that. That'll help block your ports on your computer, and that'll help keep people out of your computer. Click smarter. If you're not really sure about a site, or they tell you to click something, don't just click everything. Don't just go to your email, and if you don't know the person who's sending the email, get rid of it. Don't open it, and be curious to know about all these gimmicks that people send you on email, because it's not safe to open a lot of these things. Sometimes that's an invitation for disaster, opening up emails, because a lot of viruses are an instant message. They can be in emails too. And those are the things that you really should be careful about, is keeping your computer safe from, online predators, because they're out there. Now, if you don't know how to make a desktop folder and you want to make a handy folder on your desktop, you just right-click your mouse onto an empty area of the desktop, and then you left-click New, and then you scroll up to Folder, and then you make a click Folder, and then you have a little folder there, and you could backspace or rename it whatever you want, and then you could drag and drop programs, pictures, or any kind of files in there if you want, just for safekeeping. That's a good thing. And also, if you're not sure about somebody sending you something, make sure you do a virus scan on that file. You can scan files also, not just your whole computer. You can scan single files too. So, right-click it and click Scan this file if you're not sure where it's coming from and you want to know if it's an infection. Now, I don't know if I remember if I told you, if you're on Windows 10, what you can do is you can clean your temporary stuff out. And the way you do that is you right-click your Start menu down at the bottom, and you left-click Run Box, and then you type in the Run Box, temp, just T-E-M-P, in small letters. This is only for Windows 10. and then you click OK, and then you'll go to where the temp folder is, and then you highlight one of the folders, and you click Control A, hold those both keys down, and then you click delete on your keyboard, and that'll get rid of those temporary files. If you have a lot, you might have to do it a few times. If you don't get all of them, then that's okay. Ccleaner is what I was talking about. Ccleaner. One word. C and then cleaner. So that's how you get rid of your temps on Windows 10. And then if you want to get rid of other temporary areas, go back to your Windows icon, right click it, click run, and now you want to type something else in the box. Backspace on temp. Now you want to type in %, temp, %. Then you click OK. Then you'll go to another area where you have temporary folders. And you do the same thing. You hold Control A, you hit delete on your keyboard, and you get rid of them. You do that until they're all gone, or most of them are gone. If there's 4 or 5 in there, that's okay. Close that out. Then you do the same thing. You go back to the start, you go to run, and you type in prefetch. That's prefetch. You hit OK. If you get after you click OK from the run box, if you get a dialog box that says, click continue to proceed, you just click continue, because sometimes you get a box saying, should I continue to the folder? You just click continue, and that's fine. It'll take you right to the folder. And then you do the same thing in the prefetch. Control A, delete key until they're all gone. So now you cleaned all your temporary stuff from your computer. And if you do that like once a month, or if you use the computer a lot, you might want to do it a little bit more. Then you'll keep all those temporary things off there. See, websites, they leave files on your computer whenever you search a website. And it makes it so you can get back to that site easier, but it's very dangerous when you have a lot of them, because people can first dislodge your computer now. Okay, Sonic, thanks for coming. Talk to you later. Hope you come back. And it's not good to have them. So on Windows 10, manually go in there and do that. Also use the other programs. They will help you, and that's what you need to do. Those are really good options for cleaning out your temp. And also make sure you do disk cleanup and disk defrag and optimize drive if you're on Windows 10. And to do that, right click the Windows icon in the bottom left click where it says File Explorer, click on My PC, C drive, and then highlight C drive, and then right click C drive, and then go down to Properties, click Properties, and then you'll see another window and it'll say Disk Cleanup. You click Disk Cleanup, and then on the bottom it'll say Clean System Files. You click that, Clean System Files, and then you just follow the prompts and let it clean the files. It'll ask you, do you want to delete the system files after it's done? You say yes. Once you're done with that, right below it is going to be another box that says Optimize Hard Drive and Defragmentation. You click on that, open that up, double click the C drive, and then you'll see it's automatically going to optimize your hard drive and defrag it. And just let it do that. Don't move the mouse or anything. And what that does is optimize your hard drive, and defragmentation does is, you have a hard drive, it's a square box in your computer, and there's a platter in there with all the information on it. And then there's an arm that goes back and forth. That's called the write read arm. And there's electronics connected to that arm. And your arm is swaying back and forth. And it has to cover a lot of that drive to get to your files. Well, if you go in there and do defrag and optimization, pretty often, not all the time, just once every couple weeks, what will happen is it will put the files that you normally use on the center of the drive, on the center of the platter, so the write read arm doesn't have to move that much, and you can get to your things easier. See, without optimizing a drive and doing defragmentation, your files are scattered. So you want to do that. You want to do that like once a month, I would say. And just optimize your drive. Get that cleaned out. So, do we have anybody left in here? It got awfully quiet in the last few minutes. Looks like I'm the only one talking. And I don't mind talking, but I like to hear other people too. Oh, okay. Well, then, you got to do it, I'll show you another way how you do it if you're on Windows 8. Go to System, click on your Start menu and go to System, and then you'll see System Information, and you can go to System, and then there'll be something for Defrag on there. That's another way of going through it. You can go in your Start menu, but you want to go to Defrag. Now, you have to be on Windows 10, but Windows 7 has it also, and so does Windows 8, but it's a different way to get to it. So in order to get to it on Windows 8, you have to go to your Start menu and look for System Tools. Once you find System Tools, click on it and look for Defrag My Hard Drive. Click on that. You'll see Analyze and Defrag. If you never did it, just hit Defrag and let it do its thing. But don't touch the mouse while it's doing it. Just let it do the defrag. But you should do system file first. Go to your C drive first and clean your system files out. I'd recommend that. You just go into the control. Go into your C, right click it, left click Properties, and then the disk cleanup should open up. And then you could do disk cleanup, clean your system files, and then the last one you should do is optimize and defrag. So that's really how you should do it, because you want to clean up the files first, whatever's on there that you want to get rid of, temporary stuff, and then you want to do the defragmentation. And Windows 7 has it, Windows XP has it, Windows 98 has it, but those are sort of obsolete now. Unless you run some old games and you stay offline, Windows XP is really not usable anymore unless you just run a few programs or something. But I would do that. I recommend people do that. I do that myself all the time. My computer runs pretty good. I always clean out junk that don't belong there. And that's how you have to do it. Stephen Brown, okay, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I'll get that on my, I'm going to go to YouTube on my computer now. Let me see. See if I can get to my channel here. Well, there I am. Yeah. New York Jets football is a friend of mine, and I guess he missed my live stream again. I was hoping he would come in. He has his own live stream, and if you don't have him on your list, you should have him on there. His name is New York, I think it's football, or New York Jets football. Yeah, I think it's New York Jets football. Let me see. York Jets football. I'm going to do a search for him. YouTube. Okay, yeah, New York Jets. Official YouTube. Well, that's the team, but he's just a regular guy. I'll click on the team one too. But I already have him on my list, so I can't add him. YouTube. All right. See what I got here. My channel. Yeah, that goes with all my other live streams. Okay. Spybot Search and Destroy. Well, that's kind of like an old program. I wouldn't recommend using that anymore. That used to be a big thing years ago, but I think they have malware on that and stuff. I don't think that's good to run anymore. But Malwarebytes is still safe. I wouldn't recommend using Spybot Search and Destroy. That used to be a very good program, but I personally wouldn't use it anymore.
For today, buddy. But when I found this out,
Yeah, I'm going to go down and check out some of these, see what's going on here. So what would you recommend to someone that's looking to get a laptop in the future? Good question. I recommend a dual-core, quad-core processor, which is a good CPU, either AMD or Intel. That's the processor you want to get, quad-core. That'd be around $550 for the computer I'm talking about. And you want to get more than 4 gigs of memory. You want to get a decent video card, more than 2 gigs, a built-in graphics card, and you want an SSD hard drive, 250 gigs or higher. And you can get like a 15.6 screen if you'd like. Everything else is kind of optional. Those are the things, and also make sure you try to get a battery, laptop that has a pretty long battery life. They vary. Some of them only have a few hour battery life, some of them have more. And I'd look into that. I'd also want to look into a laptop that doesn't have a reshelving fee. If you decide to bring it back, they'll charge you for a refund. That's what I always tell people. You can go HP, Dell, Asus. Those are my 3 choices. If you wanted a real high-end system, I would say Alienware for a laptop. They're more expensive. But HP, Dell, Asus, Toshiba, they're very good. Those are like my 4 all-time picks. Toshiba makes great laptops. Acer, Asus, and HP, they're very reliable. And Dell. Dell you'd have to get online. They don't sell Dells in stores. But Those are the things I would recommend you getting if you're going to get a laptop. Make sure they have all those things. You don't want a Celeron processor, because a Celeron processor is very low grade. You want to get a good Intel or AMD quad-core processor. And then you'll be able to do everything on there. Video, graphics, anything. Because the quad-core acts like more than one processor. And it gives you a lot more processing power. And the memory too. Upgrading the memory will speed the memory up. So that's what I tell everybody. If you're looking to get a laptop in the future, those are the specs that I would be looking into for a laptop. It can be, HP, whatever you prefer, Dell. They're all about the same. Asus. Well, Toshiba's good. HP is good. Dell is good. Those are the ones that I recommend, that I prefer. I'd probably get an HP or an Asus. I like Dell and Toshiba also, but I guess my first pick would be HP or Asus. And if you, like I said, if you wanted a gaming system, it would cost a lot more money. But Alienware is really the top of the line for gaming laptops, and they're around $1,200 to $1,800. But for just a real decent laptop that will do everything you want it to do, it would be around $550. And I'd say HP, Dell, Toshiba, or HP, Dell, Toshiba, or Alienware. Those are my picks. And they all have decent reviews. So you can go online and look at the reviews. Acer is okay, but Acer has had a lot of problems in the past. I wouldn't recommend anyone buying an Acer. They might use some inferior parts. You have to really look and see what the parts are. If they're going to give you if it comes with an SSD hard drive and, like I said, a good video card, enough memory, I don't prefer Acer. I've worked on a lot of Acers. They're okay, but they're not really that. They're more of a throwaway laptop. They're really not made to continually do work on. They build them and, you use them for a while, then they're hard to work on. But some of the Acers have longer battery life. There's some top-end ones that have good battery life. But I prefer HP, Dell, and Toshiba. If you like Acer, you can get an Acer. It's just not my top pick. I've had them and they're okay, but HP is a more well put together system. Yeah, see, if you're looking to do that, running like AutoCAD, you want to get a quad-core processor. I would look into Toshiba. Asus would be the top pick. If you're going to do that. That's ASUS, that's the name of the company. That or HP. You can go Alienware, but that's more expensive. You should be able to run that program on a quad core with an SSD hard drive and very good graphics. That's what you need. You need very good video cards to run like AutoCAD. And you want a quad-core CPU, quad-core processor, an Intel. Not a Celeron, but you want like an i7 or an i9 or an i5. i5 is a little bit older. But the top of the line right now is like i7. Yeah, it's not so top end really, but you still want to have the video, to get all the effects of the video, and you won't be able to do that too good with a dual core system. I would say you should have a quad core if you're going to do drafting and things like that. it would be a lot to your benefit. And make sure you have a good graphics card, like NVIDIA or something like that. But usually the brand is like personal choice. I just don't, I always just recommend the, the leaders. And the leaders are really HP, Dell, and Alienware, and Toshiba, and Asus. Those are the actual leaders. More people buy those laptops than any other. Unless you're looking for a bargain laptop, then I would say Acer, because you'll get the Acer much cheaper. Just don't buy anything with a Celeron processor. Don't buy anything Chromebook. You don't want a Chromebook. They're very proprietary. You can't do very much with a Chromebook. So I hope that helped you. Now you just, when you're ready, you just have to look into those different, see what's out there, see what's available. I mean, I don't really go to the stores and look and see what's going on. I know basically what the new systems are, and I have a friend that really evaluates a lot of the new stuff. Building machine. Trying to decide what I need more, but pricing of higher levels. Yeah, see what I mean? I have customers that have, they do brand new kitchens, they do dining rooms, they do new bathrooms, and they're okay with running a program on a dual core. You can still see it and everything, and you can do three-dimensional stuff. But let's say you want to do higher end stuff. I would say if you want to, make sure you invest in a quad core, because that's not going to go out of style anytime soon. Quad core is really the new technology, and dual core will probably run AutoCAD, but let's say you're going to try to run other things or do higher end things that take a lot more video processing power. You're going to need a better processor for that. And that's why I suggest quad core. And the prices have come down a little bit too. And I have a dual core with 4 gigs of memory and 2 gig processor. Lenovo's good. I have a Lenovo all-in-one computer. I have a Motorola phone. It's made by Lenovo. Lenovo's good, but the innovators really in laptops are, like I said, Asus, HP, Alienware, and Toshiba. The Acers and Lenovo's are okay, but they're not my recommendation. I've sold hundreds of Lenovo computers, all-in-one computers, and they're very reliable. I don't know too much about, their laptops are okay. I've had a few of them. They're okay. You can get a decent business laptop. It'll cost you more money. It'll be more money because business laptops do cost more and they're built sturdier. You might want to consider Lenovo if it does everything and it has all the specs, decent specs to it. I don't know too much about their tech support. HP has decent tech support. Dell has good tech support. Alienware has good tech support. Those are some kind of things that you might want to consider. I've come across that shit. Well, some of the computers that I wouldn't recommend, they don't make anymore. because they just really don't cut it, you know. Companies stop making them because they're just not very good, you know. That's why the only computers I would recommend are the ones that I'm telling you about. I personally wouldn't buy an Acer unless it was a business class Acer, and would have to be like a business type computer. Lenovo, you could find some nice business type Lenovos if you like Lenovo. If you want to spend more money, like I said, the best you can get out there is going to be Alienware. That's really a gaming laptop, but the graphics is unbelievable compared to a lot of other laptops, but that's why they cost a lot more. So you'd have to spend more for an Alienware, which will do games and video and everything. Towers, because I don't really see many that are around. Well, towers, you know, I like HP. I have an HP here. They put a lot of bloatware on the laptops and the desktops, which I don't like. And what bloatware is they lump together so many introductory software, and it slows it down right from the start. And I always tell people, if you buy a new computer, get rid of all the bloatware, and you can go into your programs and get rid of it one at a time, because they put in like welcome to HP or blah blah blah, all this stuff in there, and it's just going to slow the computer down. Desktops, you know, I like HP, I like Dell. Asus is probably, you know, it was a very good desktop. I would consider that. ASUS, not Acer. Acer is really kind of low grade. I mean, they do have some high-end laptops, Acer, that I've looked into, but they're very expensive. And if I was going to put that much money into one, I wouldn't want to spend that much money into an Acer. I would rather put that into a HP or a Toshiba or a Asus, because those are really considered to be the best laptops on the market. But, you know, it's really all I can say, because Gateway used to be like the crappiest computer out there, but they don't make Gateways anymore. So you don't have to worry about that. It's really like supply and demand. I mean, if you can't sell the computers, eventually they fade out. And Acer was always in that class of the Gateway, which was really low ends and really not reliable. I mean, yeah, if it's running, they run good, but I wouldn't recommend an Acer, and I would not recommend Gateway. Well, they don't make Gateways, but you can still get used ones. I just don't. I've worked on them, and I don't really like those systems. Personally, for me, if I was going to buy a new laptop, which I'm not, I already have one, I would probably look into an Asus, because they're pretty much top of the line right now. Alienware, I don't really need all that graphics and gaming stuff, so I probably wouldn't get involved in that. But it would probably be an Asus or a HP. I like Dell. I'm also a Dell tech. I worked on a lot of Dells. I like their hardware. I'm familiar with their hardware. And I used to do a lot of repairs on Dells for the company itself. Well, actually, I worked for a company that worked for them, so we did all the warranty work back in Pennsylvania. So I'm very familiar with the hardware in Dell, which is good. But I like Asus. I think Asus, Toshiba, and HP are really the standard right now. Unless you want, like I said, unless you want the high-end gaming, then you would go with the Alienware. They're good. Oh, well, you could play those on anything, you know. I don't mean gaming, I mean like high-end gaming, like that uses a lot of, you know, processor power. Oh, good, okay. But just remember, if you're going to use drafting programs and you want 3D graphics and, you know, high-end stuff, you're going to need a decent graphics card. So you want something, you know, that has a decent graphics, good video, good GPU. That's what it's called. CPU is important, but GPUs are actually important also because you're going to be doing video applications, so you're going to need that. And if you want to edit your YouTube videos, or add things to them, or make videos, or do different programs, then you'll need something with a good graphics card also. So it's kind of like it's a preference thing, but I can only tell you what I like. You might have other choices that you like, but I can only tell you by experience. What are the best computers that sell? HP sells a lot. Dell sells a lot. Asus sells a lot of computers. And then, Alienware is up there for the high-end stuff. But whatever you want, that's entirely up to you. I don't want to tell you what certain computer to buy. I can really, the best way to help you is by what I did is I told you all the specs that you want to look for, the minimum specs. And that's really important. You want to have the good battery, the good GPU, the good CPU, the hard drive type that you want. You want, good memory, enough memory to do things, and that kind of thing. You may probably want a glossy screen. You might want a 15.4 or a 15.6. That's up to you. Good at taking apart a computer. Well, you can always get the warranty, Every computer that you buy new is covered by a hardware warranty from the manufacturer. The store may not cover it more than 30 days, but you got a 30-day manufacturer. Now, if you don't know about computers that often, you could either learn by coming in rooms like this, or getting a warranty if it's affordable. So that way, if something goes wrong, somebody will come out, or you can drop it off and have it fixed. Depending on how much the warranty costs. You have to factor that in too. Yeah, and you wouldn't want to start working on the computer because you probably would tarnish the warranty if you start taking things apart. Yeah, pretty good, I just had a friend look at my car. He's trying to fix it. I still got a cold, but I'm trying to fight off. But, yeah, my day went pretty good, and so that's good. I hope your day went good, too. Hi, Animal. Good to see you. We got Steven here. Animal just came in. We're just talking about computer stuff. Ball bearing brake in the crankshaft. I know, these car vehicles, it's always something. It's always something. And welcome to the chat, Animal, to the live stream. Yeah, we've been here for a while, talking about computer tips and how to repair your computer. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I think I said that about 90 times today. But that's what we do here. And if you have any good tips of your own. It's kind of old. Yeah, 98 Ford. Yeah, they're pretty old. F-150s, I know. They're workhorses, though, they last a long. If they run, you can do all kinds of jobs with them. I'm not a fan of pickups, though. I never liked pickups. I always had a van or a regular car. Yeah, you can do all kinds of work in those trucks. They're hard to kill. Animal, where are you coming from? Where do you live? What neck of the woods are you in? I'm in Florida, and I believe Steven's in Ohio, if I'm correct. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a friend in New York that has a welding business. And yeah, I know you gotta have all that stuff. Yeah, for welding, right. Yeah, that's a good business to get into. Somebody, if you're a mobile welder, I mean, and there's a lot of need in your area, and you can make good money. I know back home, I've seen a bunch of mobile welders. They do work on the trucks. A lot of welding for trucks, right on location. Yep, something that you need. There's a demand for it, that's for sure. I always say healthcare or computers or real estate. You gotta live somewhere and you gotta have your computer running. And people get sick, so that's three things that are always gonna be around. Before I used to say computers or healthcare, and I just added on real estate because you have to live somewhere. I need it so I can go. Yeah, right, you're a welder, so yeah, you need all that stuff. That's for sure. I wonder what this place for. I always touch something and end up messing it up. Meaning, so I might be slow on responses. Oh, that's okay. I hear you, not a problem. I'm going to probably get up here in a few. I've been on here for a couple hours already. I'm going to go do some other things. And, but yeah, it's been real nice doing this live stream. I hope people got some help from it. You can always check out the replay, Animal, and get some really good tips, computer tips, and share it with people. And I hope a lot of people see the replay and get a lot of knowledge out of it. Yeah, so Steve, I'll definitely see you again. I'm going to be going in a few. I hope that helped you, and good luck with that truck. Hopefully you'll get it going. Sure, you're welcome. So, yeah, I'm going to shut the live stream down now, and like I said, I'll see you guys later, and thanks for coming. And I'll probably be on again in the morning or in the evening, but just look for me, and I'll have some more computer tips for you. So, thanks for coming, and have a good night.